Good morning, I'm Karen. Welcome to the Yoder Homestead. If you're new here, welcome. If you're back as a subscriber, welcome back. Glad to have you guys. So it has been a minute since I have uploaded anything. We kind of just took a break from a lot of things. We have a lot going on right now, and we have a pretty big event coming up that we do for a fundraiser to help out a local family, long story short, and still moving into our house, and there was just a lot of things going on. My husband actually does tree service, so we have a tree service company, and we got hit with a really bad storm in this area, which has almost never happened before. There was a lot of trees down. Our power specifically was out for almost a week, solid, like out. No like coming on and going off again. It was out solid, so we actually had to run generators just to keep our like deep freezers cold. But it kind of brings me into a video that I wanted to do, which shows you guys just some of the things that are a little bit different. This house actually was owned by Mike's parents, who are still Amish. And so they have some different appliances and things that they had put into this house because they're Amish. That actually made it kind of nice. So we actually are wanting to buy a new set of appliances for our house. And we just haven't done that yet, just with everything going on. But there were appliances here, and they were just going to sell them or keep them as extras because they had new appliances installed in their new house. But we have here a gas. So everything is usually natural gas. Here, this oven is actually natural gas. So the top of it has pilots that go on. And so it made it really nice because we were able to use this. We didn't have to rely on electric. And the fridge as well is natural gas. However, as nice as it is to have natural gas like that, we are going to put a natural gas refrigerator in the back in our basement area to have extra fridge space. But the electric ones are frost free, so you don't have to defrost them. So take everything out, defrost everything. And the problem with this style is if it gets really, really hot outside and you open the fridge at all, the ice or whatever in the back of the fridge, which if I can find a video, I'll show you guys. My fridge is so full, I'm not even going to attempt to do that. But so you have to defrost them, and so it's more a hassle than anything. And I do like the upright where they're side by side or the whole door opens. So that's kind of the style that we're wanting to get for our house. And then another really cool thing that is in this house is the light fixtures. Some of them are actually gas. So you can use them if the power goes out, you still have light, you can turn the gas on, and just different things like that. So I wanted to show you guys here. You can see this light here is actually a natural gas light. So you turn the gas on and you light the mantle, and it will like glow because the gas comes around it and the mantle actually burns so that you have light. This one's actually torn, so it doesn't need to be replaced, but those are always available. So if our power does go out, we do have them. So there is one over here. We just took the thing off for the TV's sake. And then there's a couple like over there. There's some upstairs. There's one pretty much in every room, which makes it really, really nice. But I just wanted to show you guys some of the stuff that is a little bit different in what would be an Amish house. So a lot of this stuff, though, was run off of solar. Their house was run off of solar mainly. So now we did put power back in. For us right now, it's cheaper to run power than it is to install more solar panels to run our entire house. So we're going to stick with that right now. We do eventually, we would love to be able to have a solar system that can support our entire house. We have thought about the idea of using water. There's so much running water on this property, and using water power to generate some sort of power for something. If it could even generate enough power to do our pump for the spring water to get to the garden, that would even be amazing. But I just thought it was really cool. So there are some things that I'm really thankful for they had put into this house that weren't originally here. And it is a really cool story because this house, actually, my parents rented from Mike's parents back in the day before Mike and I met. And that is actually how I met my husband, Michael. And that is how we began our journey together. And we've been together ever since. So that was a long time ago. I was 16, I think, when we first moved in here. And we met, and then we started dating at 17, and we've been together ever since. So, and I'm 30 years old now. So we've been together for a long, long time. And it's just a really cool story. So this house has a lot of meaning to us. The property has a lot of meaning to us. And we just feel really, really beyond blessed to be able to steward this property, and we want to steward it well. We feel really thankful that the Lord has given us the opportunity to be able to purchase this property from his parents and to start creating spaces to make it our own. I have had just a lot of dreams floating around in my head for things that I want to do, things that we want to create or make space for here. And when we had our 2-acre property, it wasn't something that we were going to be able to do there. And we knew that, but it was still, we wanted to dream about it and talk about it and how we would do details once the opportunity comes. And now, since it is here, obviously it's going to be baby steps. We can't do everything all at once, but to create gardens, I would love to have a greenhouse someday, and do organic, like flowers and vegetables. I love to grow things that are not found anywhere else. So a lot of our greenhouses around here, as far as vegetables especially, there aren't very many like rare finds, like purple tomatoes or striped tomatoes or like the big pineapple tomatoes, just different things like that you can't find starts of. So I had a really, really good response when I had so many extra seedlings that I started, and I was just able to let other people come and take what they wanted and pick out some different things for their garden. And it was really exciting because they were like, wow, like I've never heard of some of these varieties, like that's amazing. And the tomatoes and peppers especially really drawed people in. And so that just like stirred in my heart and was like, oh my goodness, like that would be such an amazing opportunity to do a greenhouse style where I'd be able to offer things that are not around here. So what I'm doing now is I planted all of these varieties in my garden, as you may or may not know, but it's going to be an experiment year. I want to see what does really well in our area, what doesn't do well at all. So I can kind of formulate an idea of what varieties I kind of want to do more of so that I would be able to sell them in a greenhouse style. But I'm just going to start small. I'm just going to do a small greenhouse. If we are able to do like a hoop building, that would be great, or like a high tunnel is what some people call them. So we're just going to kind of see. And then some of the other things, like we have 20 acres here, so we would love to have beef and pigs, and we do have chickens now. We have 15 chickens that we share eggs with Mike's parents, which their house is just catty corner from us, which is amazing. We have an abundance of eggs. I am looking into getting a freeze dryer because I've watched a bunch of videos about being able to freeze dry eggs and then using them in the winter time. So that's something just that I want to jump into. I will be doing a lot of preserving this year, and I will do my very best to bring you guys along and share each process that I do. It is going to be a really busy year, so I'm going to try my very best to get the steps in as best as I can. If I don't, I will do like voiceover or something like that that's explaining what I do. But I really want to teach, like, and it's learning for myself too. But if I can help somebody learn how to do something too, that's amazing. But preserving, and then I would love to create a space where people can come and learn about gardening, about organic gardening, how we did our lasagna garden and just the reviews of that, and just different things, like creating a place where we can bring people in and have them stay, I would love to do, my uncle does butchering, and so I would really like to learn things like that. And just, there's a bunch of things. There's a bunch of steps that go into each thing. We'd love to have a dairy cow someday, but being ethical and sustainable in those methods as well. But I am just really excited for this year. I did take a break. It kind of let us catch up on everything. And so now, like, the garden has grown a lot since I've done my tour. And so once July comes, I will do another garden tour. And I'll tour you guys around the gardens around the house and some of the ideas that I have for our perennial garden. And we would love to have an orchard space in the background of our house. So it'd actually be out my kitchen window. You can see here. It's probably really, really bright, but out that kitchen window is where the perennial garden would start, and it would kind of go up the hill. There's some trees back there, but it's like a really good slope, so none of the trees would be sitting in water. It's kind of an ideal location back there. What I would want to do is have all my herbs there, my flowers, my perennial flowers, medicinal flowers, pretty things too, pollinator flowers, just things that once they're planted, they reseed themselves, they come back every year. They produce herbs and things like that that are used in the garden or used in cooking and also for medicinal. I did recently buy a book that teaches all about how to use herbs for medicinal reasons and making like tinctures and things like that for our health. We do take supplements from, it's called the AIM companies. I've been taking barley for probably since I was 14 years old. So a long time. My kid's grown up with it as well. We do supplement with their whole food powders, but I do want to get away from like cough syrups and just different things like that, making my own teas and just blends. I just watched Jess, one of her videos from Roots and Refuge, making fire cider. Things like that, like learning how to do those things, learning how to do them well, and then being able to bring you guys along for the process and being able to share how I do things and just building the community of homesteading or farmsteading or wherever space you're in. If you're just absorbing as much as you can, that's amazing as well. But so yeah, so there's a lot of things that, and we also want to add more rentals on our property. I love the idea of having primitive tent cabins. So there's things that we have a lot going on. So I do want to share the garden journey this year and bringing all of that food in because it is going to be a lot of food. A lot more food than I have ever put away or had to harvest and stay on top of. So the really cool thing, like I had people come and get seedlings, like I was saying, and some of them were like, hey, like if you need help during the harvest season, like let me know. I'll come and I'll help preserve and stuff like that, which is amazing because then like I want them to take home some of this stuff that we're canning or freeze drying or dehydrating or freezing. Just different things like that. So we're going to do all kinds of processes. We're going to do like blanching so that I can put them in the freezer for like green beans and things like that. We are also going to can things. But a lot of things, the more that I read about it, canning is really hard on food because it's heating it to such a high temperature that a lot of the nutrition in the food is not where it should be at its raw state, which obviously for some things like it is okay, but like I want to try and make so that I have the nutrient dense foods as well. So the freeze dryer really, really has caught my eye because it keeps it in that state. I've really been just reading a lot about freeze dryers and just the process that it takes. So yes. We are learning about all the things, and another thing that's really important to me, like especially like having my daughter, I want to be able to teach her and have her grow up in a space where it's normal to go out in the garden and pick raw food. So that's my vision. That's some of my dreams. I'm really thankful for you guys being able to join us as we go along the way. Like I said, if you're new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Glad to have you guys. But yes, so hopefully videos will be coming at a normal basis going forward. But yeah, that's so. Thank you for hanging out with me, guys. I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.